He's a professor, a songwriter, and an incredible author. It's so great to have my friend back on the show, Don Cusic. Don, we got to talk about this brand new book.
Yeah, Chet Atkins.
Chet Atkins, Mr. Guitar. And I don't know anybody better to do this book than you. How did this come together? Like, you turned it around like in a year, right?
No, 12 years. 12 years. 12 long, lonely years.
Yeah, but I mean, well worth it.
Yeah.
How did this come together?
You know, the most unsatisfying answer in the world, I'm going to tell you, and it's the most honest one, and that is the subjects come to you. Mm-hmm. You know, because I knew Chet, knew about Chet,
right.
All of that stuff, and you know, as time went by, it just, one day, it's like, I need to do this book.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds kind of cosmic and whatnot, but it really does. That happens. It chooses, the subjects choose you.
Right.
As much as you choose the subject.
And you're such an incredible author. I got to bring this up, Don, to where you've had over 30 books published. I think the last time we had you on the show was for the Nashville Sound, for that great book. I mean, your Eddie Arnold book. I mean, people were lined up at Parnassus to buy a copy.
Yeah.
It has to feel good to you, being a music historian and having the depth of knowledge you do, to be able to do a book like this to where no one else has done a biography on Chet Atkins yet.
Yeah, and you know, for the new generation, because Chet's been dead over 20 years, and almost 25.
Right.
And the new generation, I asked them, I said, have you heard of Chet Atkins? They go, yeah, I've heard of him. I said, well, what does he do? Well, he's a country singer. Right. You know, that's about all
they have
they've
no
got.
idea of his guitar play, because I know, you know, growing up and watching all of the TV shows, I mean, Chet, you know, he was on all of the TV shows. I mean, you know, from Hee Haw, Bobby Goldsboro, Glenn Campbell, you know, Johnny Cash show, all of them. Yeah. They always had Chet. And, you know, and you and I know from his early work too, you know, with other bands and everything else, before he became president, you know, of you know, a label. Well,
Chet got fired a lot of times because the big deal was to be a staff member of the radio station, because you played behind everybody and you had a steady job. Chet kept getting fired because he wasn't an exciting performer. Right. And if you see the films of him, he stands there, he concentrates, he looks at his fingers, and he doesn't dance around, or, you know, like Roy Clark or somebody like that. And so he kept getting fired because he wasn't so exciting. But the sheer quality lasted.
Just a master.
Yeah, and that's what carried him, that talent.
Well, and I'll tell you what has carried you, incredible writing and research. I got to bring this up to embarrass you a little bit. You have blurbs on the back of this book, Don, by Peter Frampton, Ken Burns, who you worked with on the series.
On the documentary.
Yeah. And then you've also got Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson on here.
Well, I go back a long ways with them. I did liner notes on one of Dolly's albums. Wow. This is back when she was still with Porter. And in fact, Porter had to give the okay to run it.
Oh my gosh.
And Willie, I've known him for years because of, now I hardly ever see him now, but I've known him for years, and of course did some things for him that helped him. And so when I sent it to Mickey Raphael. And he said, well, Willie's in Hawaii. I don't know when he's going to get to it. I said, okay, whenever. A day later, it came back.
Oh my gosh.
It was that quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, Don, to where, you know, to me here in Nashville, you're one of the strongest music historians, to where you do so much research, and also, as we mentioned too, with teaching, you know, as a professor with Curb and everything, and at Belmont, you know, so many of your, I mean, you had Brad Paisley, you know, and other major artists as your students.
I've had 6 former students have a #1 country record.
They should credit you in the
It wasn't my
bylines.
responsible, you know, I didn't do it, but but you know, the teaching is really what helps, because you have to. I teach a history of the recording industry, and so you go and you have to learn something or refine something, or you'll get corrected on something, and so that ended up a book about that thick. Wow. The students are a little intimidated, going, "We got to read this whole thing." but that's really because it allows you to stay stay in the subject. You know, after a while, you know, when you finish with a subject, a lot of time you just want to forget it. You just want to go on.
Well,
and
especially
I can't.
as much research and preparation, and you were telling me too before we came in studio, even after the book's out, you still have people coming to you going, "Oh, Don, I've got another story about Chet."
Yes, it drives me crazy. I've already heard, I don't want to say hundreds, but I've heard a few. Book's only been out a few days.
Right.
And I'm getting emails and running into people and having phone calls and saying, or, you know, talking to people. Yeah, Chet, da 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 da.
Oh, my
And I'm
gosh.
going, oh God.
Yeah, but you know, like you and I were talking too, and you have such a great body of work, Don, to where, you know, the book has to go out at a point. You know, I mean, it has to be put out to the public, and it has to have a life of its own. And to have a book like this out now, I couldn't help but thinking, going through it, it's like, I think this would make like a great documentary on Chet Atkins.
It would. It would.
If you knew somebody like Ken Burns that could get involved with it.
Ken was very nice. I contacted him and I said, would you mind writing that? He said, be glad to do it. So
Well,
I
you helped
sent
out
him the
Ken
manuscript.
also.
Yeah, in the documentary.
Right.
But and we kind of hit it off. We stay in touch, and I'm looking forward to his American Revolutionary thing.
Oh,
coming up.
definitely. And you had a Civil War book also.
It's a novel.
Yeah.
Based on life in what was life like in Nashville during the Civil War.
I enjoy all of your books. I know there's also talks to where this may become an audio book down the road, and like, you know, possibly even in paperback also. You've got other books pending, which we can't talk about, that may be releasing later in the year or next year. And I got to bring up also, you're in a Hall of Fame now.
Well, I'm in the Western Music Hall of Fame. I'm not in the Country Music Hall of Fame.
As a historian.
Yes, on the Country Music Hall of Fame, I pay for a ticket and I go in.
I think they let you in for free.
Western
Come on,
Music, yeah,
Don.
because for 13 years I was editor of the Western Way, which is their magazine.
Yeah.
And collected some of those articles that I did, and it's kind of like the history of the of the singing cowboys.
Right.
So, and I
It's
did a
so
book on
amazing.
Gene Autry way back when.
I think I have that one also.
Yeah.
I told you I've got to bring all my books over to your place to get you to sign them all because they're just in my book collection. But I want to make sure for our viewers, Don, I know that the book is for sale on Amazon. You're going to be doing a lot of book, signings and everything, Parnassus, all over the country, especially here in Nashville. Where should they go website-wise if they want a signed copy?
Probably my website, doncusic.com, and that lets you know how to get hold of me.
Yeah.
And what I've done, people will buy the book, send it in, and or they'll say they want, I'll get it from Amazon or I'll get it from the publisher, sign it and send it back to them. I've got a whole stack of those padded envelopes to send out books with.
I've got a feeling, Don, that this is going to be one of your most popular books to date, and you're going to have to get a lot more envelopes.
I think this will end up in the obituary.
I think so. I just thought, what a powerful book, and I highly recommend you get your own copy. Also, get Don to sign it for you. Chet Atkins, Mr. Guitar, great book. I love it. I'm so glad you did this. I can't wait to see the next book you do.
Well, I can't wait either. I wish it was done.
Right.
Yeah, but
Be sure and go to Don's website also. That way you can find out where he's going to do a book signing so you can see him in person. If not, you can mail him the book. He does have the padded envelopes, and so
Yes.
he can sign it. But Don Cusic, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Eric. It's always fun.
Be sure and get a copy. Chet Atkins, Mr. Guitar. It's out now.